So do you need racing gloves for sim racing? Will they make you faster? I'll help you answer those questions and give you my thoughts on the 2 pairs of gloves I've been using on the virtual track. I'm Mike, and this is the Sim Racing Den.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down.
Let's first review why real-life race car drivers wear gloves. Although most of these reasons may seem very obvious to you, I think it's still important to note, since at the end of the day, us sim racers are simply trying to live out our race car driver dreams. Or for those lucky few, sim racing is a critical practice tool to prepare for real laps on the track. Professional drivers need gloves so they can exercise better control over the steering wheel. Just one little slip of the hand can send you careening off course. Fighting the wheel at extremely high peaks of force over multiple laps can cause hands to fatigue. Gloves help to take some of the impact off and make longer races more manageable for a driver. When it comes to real-life racing, safety is everything. In Formula 1, every driver has sensors sewn into the palm of the glove fabric. The driver's vital signs can be monitored and recorded during a race thanks to these sensors. Professional gloves are always fire retardant and can help protect the driver's hands if there is a fire in the cockpit. Now that we understand the benefits for real-life race car drivers, how does this relate back to us sim racers? Well, in the case for direct drive wheels, especially those that can produce up to 20 or even 30 Newton meters of max force, we too can be fighting hand fatigue during longer or endurance races online. Using gloves while sim racing should also give you better control and grip on the wheel, potentially making you faster, since you will be able to navigate trickier sections of the circuit with more accuracy. When in the heat of battle, it's very common that your hands could also become quite sweaty, potentially causing the wheel to easily slip from your hands. If you're using a suede or Alcantara style wheel, using it without gloves will surely cause the wheel's surface to wear out faster. If you're anything like me and you want to keep your expensive wheels in tip-top shape, gloves will surely help. At the end of the day, who doesn't want to look the part driving in their sim rig? You can't argue that gloves certainly add to the immersion and provide some theater as you sit down into your rig and pull your gloves on before the race. Now that we know the benefits of gloves for sim racing, let's talk about the options out there, and then I'll show you 2 pairs of gloves I've been using and testing for the last few months. The options are endless when it comes to finding the perfect pair of driving mitts for your needs at all different price points, so let's break it down into 3 easy to examine categories in order to help you decide. The first category are professional racing or even karting gloves. Hey, if you really want to fit the part, why not buy an actual pair of racing gloves? There are several options from reputable companies like OMP, Sparco, or Alpine Stars to name a few. I found the best and usually more inexpensive are those catering to the world of karting. These types of gloves will certainly provide superior grip and looks, but at a higher price tag. But hey, go for it if you want ultimate immersion. The second category are gloves made and specifically marketed to sim racers. I'm currently rotating between 2 pairs of gloves that fall in this bucket, including the Hyper Grip from real-life glove maker Sparco, and another example comes from a company called SimHound, which offer an availability in a wide array of colors, and lastly another pair I've been running some laps with from a small company here in my home nation of Canada, started by professional race car driver Daniel Morat, part of his Moradness line of gloves marketed for use in karting or sim racing, a glove that they state can be used both off and on the track and look cool while doing it. The last category is of a broader range. This includes really any glove that is intended to provide extra grip and comfort. These often come in at a lower price point, including gloves sold for bikers or mechanics. You can find many options on Amazon, but these often don't look the part, but certainly provide a number of the same benefits for a more reasonable price. My reviews are going to fall under our second category. I've been using both Sparco's Hyper Grip and the Moradness gloves on my rig for the last few months. I'm going to share what I like and don't like about these gloves, as well as provide some observations on their durability after a few months of use, so you can decide if these might be the perfect gloves for you or whether you want to explore other options. First up are the Hyper Grips from Sparco. It goes without saying that Sparco has a long reputation in both the automotive aftermarket and racing world as a top manufacturer. Started by 3 young rally drivers in 1977, releasing their first seat in 1979, and in 1983 Formula 1 driver Nelson Piquet won the World Championship wearing a Sparco suit. The Hyper gloves retail for around $60 to $70, or here in Canada, between $80 to $90. This is definitely not as high as a professional racing glove, but certainly more than other similar options from brands without the infamous Sparco name on them. The Hyper glove incorporates a perforated elastic material that improves comfort and ventilation, making it suitable for prolonged race sessions. The gloves are designed with foam reinforcements to give them a more snug feel and decrease stress on your hands. They have a Velcro strap for a proper and secure fit. They also feature a touch-sensitive fingertip for precision use when using a touchscreen dash or mobile smartphone. They come in a wide range of sizes, from extra small up to extra large, and are only available in red and black color scheme. After using these as my main driver, as you can see by some of the wear and tear already apparent, I found them comfortable to wear during long race sessions. The foam inserts and ventilation definitely have helped minimize fatigue while keeping my hands from overheating and preventing sweat from building up on the wheel. You can clearly feel the extra padding where it's needed most, between the thumb and palm, where you'll likely feel the most fatigue from the wheel. The grip feels excellent regardless of what wheel I've been using. I've tried it with an Alcantara wrap Formula wheel, a leather wrap GT style rim, and also my polyurethane rim from Turn Racing. The gloves performed equally well on all of these materials. The ability to easily use touchscreens while wearing these gloves is also a welcome feature. Since my button box has a touchscreen dash display, this is also appreciated when I'm checking my iPhone between qualifying and race sessions and not needing to remove the gloves. For instances where they may not work with a touchscreen device, the index finger and thumb have removable tops, further alleviating the need to remove the gloves to perform other tasks. Operating and pressing buttons on my wheel or button box is not an issue at all, and I did not find myself stumbling or pressing the wrong buttons. You could even type on your keyboard with thanks to the lighter footprint and flexibility of these gloves. As an added bonus, there is an addition of a bag for storage and safekeeping included with the gloves. This is great when they're not in use or if you're taking them with you somewhere. After using these gloves for several months, they are starting to show some wear. The tips of the gloves are slightly frayed. The palm and underside of the gloves, however, have remained intact with some normal wear as to be expected. However, the top of the glove has some detailing that is starting to chip away and not look so great, and I imagine after further use this may get a bit worse. Overall, I'm very happy with these gloves. They are thick enough to provide additional comfort while still being thin enough to feel vibrations and feedback and easily manipulate buttons and switches. The ability to use a touchscreen device is a huge advantage over other gloves, and if brand name matters to you and cool factor, then these gloves check all the boxes. Daniel Morad is a Canadian race car driver racing at the top level of sports car racing in North America, and co-founder of lifestyle brand Moradness. His partner and co-founder Jessica started the company after they decided to make hats with a generic design and his logo at the time. The hats quickly gained traction on social media, and 5 years later the company grew into an e-commerce lifestyle brand offering apparel, accessories, and race gear, all motivated by his experience in motorsport. I came across these gloves on several social media platforms, and being Canadian myself was curious and thought I would give them a try while supporting a Canadian company. I assume too that someone who has experience in real-life motorsports, as well as an active sim racer with a large following on Twitch, could certainly produce a glove with the sim racer in mind. The Moradness gloves certainly look great, with a variety of designs and color schemes to fit anyone's style, and the ability to personalize the glove with your name, number, or even logo is a nice way to get a pair that's truly unique to you. My personal choice was the Dark Side glove, yes, another black and red design, and I opted to add my first initial and last name for that personalized touch. The total package came in at $110 Canadian, or roughly about $83 US. If you decide to forego the personalization, then you're looking at about $95 Canadian or $72 US. This puts them more in line with Sparco's offering and still less than a professional racing glove. Morad states that the glove will give you optimal control and even goes as far to say these gloves will make you fast. They state that they're both lightweight while being durable and feature a strong grip on the palms with pre-curved fingers. So how do they perform? Well, let's start with comfort. After putting these on, they do feel soft thanks to the exterior stitching, and they're noticeably thicker than the Sparcos. However, I can still freely move my fingers. It's slightly more restrictive, but this is not an issue while driving. I have been using these gloves for a shorter period of time than my Sparcos, but I've been giving them some adequate mileage, and have found them great to drive with. The extra thickness is welcome, especially in longer races or operating cars that I have set to produce a greater force feedback. Grip is really good. I didn't feel that they offered more or less grip than the Sparcos, thanks to the M-shaped grips on the palm. However, over time I'll have to reevaluate these as the gloves get more use and worn down, but so far they perform great. The gloves feel snug but still breathable, and I do appreciate that they are easy to take on and off thanks to a more traditional cuff. As for operating buttons, this is not an issue, but the thicker finger tips do make them a little less precise than the Hyper Grips. However, from my experience, smartphone touchscreens is a no-go for these gloves, but they did perform fine on my touchscreen dash display. Looks-wise, these gloves certainly have a cool factor going for them. They'll surely stand out against others, and the various color options allow for more personalization. The option to add your name is certainly a nice touch, but does come at an extra expense. Moradness also provides an included bag for storage and taking to the real track if you so desire. In my opinion, this is a nicer design than the one included with the Sparco Hyper Grips. So what are my final thoughts, and which one is my favorite so far? Well, right now it's like asking someone which one is your favorite child. I'm a bit torn as I enjoy different things about both these gloves, and find myself switching back and forth sometimes depending on the race, or wheel, or just my mood. Do I need 2 pairs of gloves? No, certainly not. But I wanted to try both and figured whichever one I don't end up using as my go-to would just become a spare set for my guest drivers. At this point it's still early to tell, but I can easily recommend both pairs. It just depends on what features are important to you. Now to answer the question I posed at the beginning of this video, do you need racing gloves for sim racing? Well, I think we can agree you don't need anything other than a decent wheel and set of pedals to be a fast sim racer. Some of the top times are set by people with inexpensive rigs and little to no additional accessories. But what I think we can also agree on is that you want gloves, as they will only add to your overall experience in immersion while keeping you comfortable and giving you more confidence behind the wheel, as well as protecting that hard-earned money spent on your favorite steering wheel. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed or found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. And if you enjoy content about sim racing, I encourage you to subscribe. Until the next one, stay safe and happy racing.